Welcome back, you guys, to Canon Events. I'm your host, Trevor, and this week is One Piece Chapter 1186. The title is Once More, or at least it is for now, until Viz comes out with a completely different title from what we were able to figure out as a community on Sunday with the official translation. So we're doing our best. I'm excited because we see Ida and a baby Loki in the cover page. What's he doing there? Oh, okay, alright. Cover request by Sunadango. Loki covertly drawing Ida, who is secretly amused by it. Oh. Great. Just, you know, I mean, we all know what happens when we reject artists. You did a great job, Loki. It's a beautiful drawing. I like that the snake is very enthusiastic about it. But who is this snake? And, why? Huh. What is Oda trying to tell us with the snake? We know the lion. The lion is always a reference for Joy Boy, We've also seen this black dog. Fenrir. This snake, Jormungand. And Loki's eyes, very reptilian. We've seen that he can turn into the Needhog dragon. Did he have some sort of reptilian connection before? And I think yes, like we all had this idea that maybe something was different about him. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that he would put this snake here as Loki's best friend. Alright, so we're picking up in Brook's flashback. Brook's past, the world government versus Esperia? Okay, I will say this is starting to look a lot more like Thriller Bark, which concerns me. So we last left off with Brook encountering the face of true evil. Let's just say Shuri, basically his best friend, a girl who he's basically raised. He's been her bodyguard and I guess tutor, her trainer, but she's also in love with him. And so there's that, and it's an inappropriate age gap situation, and she's the daughter of his benefactor. She means a lot. She means the world to him in so many ways. And she just killed his benefactor, his last remaining benefactor, because we learned what happened to Lady Candle last time, or at least what we have been told happened to her. That could change. That could change here. So this is not Brook talking. Brook's past, the world government versus Esperia. Don't give up. Winning independence is our only shot at survival. And I presume that that's this guy talking, and this is him getting shot down in the next panel. So that speech went great. Now we're back at just Brook having a mental breakdown. This guy looks less like Shiryu, but I want to right away get at something that's been bugging me all week. Shiryu and Shuri use similar Japanese characters and sounds, just phonemes. Okay? Shiryu and Shuri sounds like how anime parents be naming their kids. Sanji, Ichiji, Yonji, Niji. You know what I mean? The families usually have some sort of rhyme scheme, or like whether internal or a front or an end rhyme to the kids' names, or a similar kanji or hiragana character between the names, or pairing of hiragana characters. Shiryu and Shuri are using multiple of the same characters and sounds. He's here. Lady Candle got sick after the Celestial Dragons showed up the first time, and then had a baby. She disappeared, and then she had a baby. See what I'm saying here? So that the parentage is questionable. And could this be the parent? And perhaps could, well, this guy has the, hold on, this guy has the Davy eyelash. Fuck. What's happening here? I can't even read the chapter. There's just so many details on page 1. Of course, and then when the Itsumade is just staring us right in the face. Like, we're not even going to talk about the fact that a Gorosei. Who's possessed by Imu? Okay. Okay, we're going to go back. Okay, I don't even, oh my god. Oh my god. So, I feel like Brook looking at this page. Not even at this page. Looking at these 3 panels. This split panel right here. What is there to think? We see a smoking man who looks a lot like Shiryu. We see Shuri, possessed by evil. And we see the Itsumade, St. Marcus Mars, I believe, is the Itsumade. Confirmed, this is the Itsumade possessed by Imu, much like we saw Saint Saturn possessed by Imu. Brook, buddy. So, Brook, without hesitation, completely unable to fathom or process what the fuck he's really looking at. But what he's looking at isn't this or this. It's Reuven in critical condition, dying. He's not dead yet, as far as Brook thinks or needs. He rushes right in. He says, "We need a medic, quick! The king is in critical condition! Big bro! Hang in there, big bro! Please! You've gotta!" And, I mean, I swear to God, Imu is just looking at him like, "Bitch, do you not see me? Do you not see all of this? Excuse you? You dare to grace my presence and not acknowledge it? Or rather, be graced by my presence and not acknowledge it? And the indignancy of that act to Imu, look at the scowl. Imu's not happy. So, for one, people were thinking that Gunko was possessed by Imu. Gunko has been Domi reversing. Gunko has been Domi reversing because the Itsumade has been possessed by Imu, and I don't think Imu can possess 2 things at once directly. That would be a lot. And Imu can't even breathe the outside air without, like, having that massive Chipotle diarrhea. Domi reversing. Meaning that the good Shuri is flipped. The good Shuri is in there somewhere. Also, this Shuri does not have heterochromia. Keep track of that, because I'm pretty sure even Imu Shuri has her heterochromia. So that is something we need to look for. I'm pretty sure Big Bro is dead. So Brook is going in. Brook is having a moment. Big Bro! Big Bro! Are you a fan, mister? Yeah, don't call me mister. Brook's really having a moment. Yo, well, I suppose I'll just call you Big Bro. Big Bro? Big Bro! Big Bro! Where is that damn medic? Is Imu shocked? I don't think Imu's mad anymore. That is an expression of shock, of maybe remorse. I know we don't get to see the whole face, but just the eyes are so telling. In this design, obviously, it's the only thing we have to look at. But also, look at the way that he's kind of cocking his head back. He's like, oh damn, oh, hold on. He went from being like, motherfucker, what, to, oh, motherfucker, what? You know, and so, that's interesting to me. I did not expect that sort of reaction from Imu. Oh, okay. Is Imu closing the door with this look? No, I don't think so. But Imu does slam the door. This sudden intrusion, whoosh, slams the door, is quite the inconvenience. Brook, you know that guy is dead already, right? Huh? You! Who are you? What have you done to Princess Shuri? You see, I've watched over Shuri since she was a baby. She's totally incapable of this. There's nothing I don't know when it comes to the princess. Then tell me, Brook, did you know that I'm a celestial dragon? This guy wasn't my real father. Did you know that? Huh? Don't you call him this guy. What are you even saying? You are the child of King Leuven, that is a fact. Can you prove that? That's irrelevant when it comes to the bond between a parent and child. It isn't. This is life-changing news. I should have been raised as a celestial dragon. These past 16 years were a complete waste. Don't you understand how angry that makes me? Oh my god. This isn't the real Shuri. We need to keep in mind this is not the real Shuri. This is the Domi reversing Shuri. Fuck. And he doesn't know that. He doesn't understand that he's being absolutely devastated right now. And that demand for 1,000 slaves, it isn't true. This guy just didn't want to hand me over. Stop calling him that. This guy was a good-for-nothing king who pointlessly led his people to their doom. That's why I made him take responsibility. With the king dead, this war can end. But defeat will make our nation a lawless land. That is no longer my concern. Oh. Knight of God, Saint Manmeyer Gro. I remember you now. There was a kid with an afro. Among Kandel's assistants. You weren't allowed to come near me. And he has the heterochromia. We wouldn't normally come all the way to a backwater country like this to retrieve a single brat, but this kid possesses those mismatched eyes. Being born with that trait is truly rare, and the Great One desires them. I didn't awaken them myself, but she might. Thou hast said too much, Gro. Oh, forgive me, Great One. Hey, Shuri. Oof. Huh? No, wait. This is just a dream, right? I used to change your diapers. I know everything about you, princess. And she just has this cold look as she walks. Horrifyingly towards Brook. You're so patronizing. Shedding tears like that is beyond pathetic. I deserve stronger protection. If I go to the Holy Land now, I won't need you anymore. Brook is just bawling. And look how much bigger than her he is. But somehow still, she's drawn to be so menacing. I think Oda does a great job at things like that. I couldn't protect Big Bro, the man who saved my life. He drops his sword. Oh no. And the move is called Gavotte Bon en Avant. I don't know what that means. And he starts singing in his head, "Only bones get left behind." Which the official Viz translation was super different than this one, but the translators here kept their translation, and that's perplexing. I was honestly like taken aback by how different the official translation was for that chapter. Because it wasn't only bones get left behind. It was we're all bones when we die was the song that he was singing, and the song didn't go like this. How we sang it, he said, "Oh," his song was, "Oh, cows and frogs and slaves and kings." I don't even know the melody here. There really doesn't seem like there's a rhyme scheme. I think that frogs to cattle, kings to chattel has a rhyme scheme, and that the Viz translators really didn't give a shit about a rhyme scheme, and that sucks. That sucks because they're getting paid, and the people online making these fan translations are not getting paid. So you would think that the Viz translation would at least try to give the Japanese to English translation a rhyme scheme for us. So the lyrics in the official Viz are, "Oh, cows and frogs and slaves and kings, we're all bones when we die. Cows and frogs and slaves and kings, we're all bones in the end. That's all there is to say." Yeah, that's not a great, and so from frogs to cattle, from kings to chattel, of the dead you'll find only bones get left behind. It's got a rhyme scheme, dude. That's a song. I don't know, bro. For Viz to drop the ball on this, of all things, it kind of upsets me. I'd like to see the original Japanese translation, or the Japanese lines of this. Not that I would understand them, like if I read them, but if I could look at them and just see the rhyme scheme there and just know that Oda does a better job than that. I mean, they have to be translating something that rhymes because they're trying to rhyme. I'm coping. I'm coping with the fact that we just saw how Brook got his scar. Jeez. And it was from his most beloved person on earth. That's so gosh darn sad. Bones alone, as everyone knows, that's just the way the story goes. And down he falls, like fully lobotomized. Do you think that Shuri, even through the Dome University, still had the ability to know like what she was doing? Okay, what's interesting to me is that they walk out. This might just be for dramatic effect, but they didn't need to walk out. Like, they could have basically teleported out at this point. That's all we see. The moment in the throne room is over. So we are going to be dissecting those frames. There's probably about 20 to 30 of them for a year, probably, until we get more about that, I think. Because this is going to be the end of Brook's flashback, and we're just going to move on, I think. I think it's going to move on. Commander Brook, he's awake. It's a miracle. I'm shocked. A sword went through your head, and you survived. Well, it's a miracle. It missed your major blood vessels in the brainstem, the brain itself. What about the king? I'm not sure how much you remember, Commander. We shouldn't give you too much of a shock. No, I want you to tell me. We failed. The king is dead. Eyewitnesses saw Princess Shuri boarding a government ship. Most citizens have already fled the country. It doesn't matter where they go now. They'll be refugees now. And Brook just belts out. He starts crying. Commander! Oh no, his wound reopened. Commander, stay with us. Commander! And Brook is just he's going berserk. He's going cuckoo banana pants. Back then, I didn't even know what a devil fruit was. The princess seemed so different after the king's murder. It was chilling. She looked just like a demon. But I always thought I was hallucinating. If that was actually real though. Hey you guys. Do you think it's okay if I put my faith in Princess Shuri once more? Franky, he's just like me for real, bro. I love Franky so much, dude. Jinbei's like, I guess Jinbei's always kind of rounding. Usopp is just fully taken aback. It's like, he's got dial-up noises for sure. This is the face of dial-up sounds. Usopp is just, he's processing, and he's probably going to be processing for a good minute more than everybody else. He's got like 3 brain cells. Nami's very much teared up. And Franky, I suppose punctuating this line at do you mind if I put my faith in Princess Shuri once more, is like, that's my boy, dude. If she's a victim, then run, Brook. It's just cause I'm their, is that just cause I'm their daughter? In reference to like what he laid down his life for her. I want to save her, Princess Shuri. Please everyone, lend me your strength. That's the Brook we love, bro. That's the Brook, that's the straw hat that we love, man. No need to be so formal. Let's hurry and smash that ice. I wonder if lightning will do the trick. A radical beam is our best bet. It seems like explosives don't work. What should I do? Hey, Brook. Whoa. Okay, we needed that. This has been very emotional couple of weeks. Walrus School Cafeteria. Okay, now back to the drama. Oh, never mind. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Luffy's done eating, you guys. Oh. Okay. That crazy new guy is Elbaf's enemy, right? And he's my enemy too. I'm overflowing with power. Thought what? How did he? Okay. We're not gonna ask any questions. He ate the food, and he's powered up. Peak literature. This is Shakespearean. The way I'm feeling right now, I don't think I can lose. Pew! So we've seen multiple characters, I've commented on this before, basically just take off Dragon Ball Z style across the island. Franky did it. Sanji did it. Sanji previously in possession of Skywalk. Luffy is now doing it in base form, even though we've only really seen him skywalking Gear 4th and 5th. Kind of Gear 2. Now he could just, I guess, fly. It could just boo! Imagine just being able to go to work like that. And the real, I think about flying a lot. The real hard part is landing. I think that if you get up to I don't even care, like 30 miles an hour, just flying, just no brakes, There's no brakes. So you've got to like land, and then you got to like, you know, your hips and your knees and your ankles and shit have to take the impact of, you know what I'm saying? So all right, Luffy's jumping right now. This is a jump. We're presume that he didn't like unlock key flight like in Dragon Ball Z. Number one way to riz up a girl, like Gohan being like, oh hey Videl, you know what I can teach you? I can show you the world. Bro did not learn that from Goku. Gohan 100% learned that riz from Piccolo, dude. 100%. Piccolo's like, the first time that you get a chance, teach her this, Gohan. And then what you're gonna do when she wakes up from you laying down the hanky panky, she's gonna wake up to the sunrise, and you're gonna be wearing my cape, right? The cape that I gave you. Alright, the magical cape that I gave you. You're gonna be standing against the silhouette of the sunrise on like a traffic pole, right? Just let that cape flow in the wind. Just don't even ask any questions. You'll get it. You'll get it, Gohan. Okay. Wow. I got sidetracked. When Luffy lands, if he wasn't made of rubber, bro would be cooked. Okay? That's all I'm saying here. You're targeting kids? The world government sure plays dirty. Thou art ignorant of the reason then. Huh? Shall I enlighten you? 800 years ago, the giant race were defeated in a bid to rescue their children. Huh? 800 years ago? What are you saying? A few centuries is not nearly enough to change the nature of a race. Without fail, thine people inevitably bend the knee. And we see Zaza with the kids. Their heads are popping out. They're not drowning. I guess she's yoinking them out of the village still. She's still like in the process of yoinking them out of the village. So this is taking it back a few moments in time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well, alright, so we see what's about to happen. Holy shit. Without fail, thine people inevitably bend the knee when thine offspring are taken. Ignorance of the significance of what is occurring is irrelevant. History always repeats itself. 'Tis already too late. We see that Hajudin and Brogy are like, I guess, doing their best against this Zaza conjuration. Very interesting. Hajudin is giving a battle cry. You know, he's going all out. Cut back up to Loki screaming, "You prick! What are you trying to say? Hey, dumbass!" So Luffy just... Did Luffy just jump just clean directly? Like, he jumped so hard, he just jumped all the way from the Owl Library all the way to this battlefield on, like, Branch 9. Is Luffy that? Bro, is him. Bro, this major main character feat. So Luffy just meteored himself. Like, I would say like 10 miles. At least. At least like 10 miles. Through the air in a matter of seconds. Just so he was going at least 100 miles an hour. At least, let's just say he was going about 100 miles an hour, which is like low volume. The thunderous clap of just the force of that, you know what I mean? But then we're seeing that he's got a density of hockey that we're really not used to with Luffy. This is a new level of hockey, and we can tell because this is the type of color effect that we usually get with Garp. This is the darkest black hockey. Fully kerpows him in the face. Now let's look at the impact of this. The kerpow is shaking. Okay? The impact, like, bubble is fully fragmented. Imu is like, you know, grotesquely distorted by this punch. There is blood. There's blood coming out of Imu's mouth, which we've only seen from a few things before. I think one of Loki's hits made him bleed, and obviously the transformation made him bleed. Damn. The Conqueror's hockey is apparent. I mean, this is just absolutely nuts. What is this blackness surrounding him? Is this his Hagoromo? Or is this his cape or something? I'm not sure what's going on with this black. I think this is his cape. Yeah, it's his cape. So, one strike. That's our, like, end line. Is one strike. No break next week. We are seeing that Luffy, in base form, with his advanced Conqueror's hockey and armament hockey, has just made Imu bleed. Explain that, power scalers. I mean, I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride, but I'm so confused. I'm so confused. What was in the food that Loki made for Luffy? Like, what are they feeding these giant kids? Is there just like Caesar clown formula in the giant food? I'm really confused. There's so much in this chapter. There's so much in this chapter. I don't want to belabor about the, I guess, massive need for suspension of disbelief in Luffy's miraculous recovery here. I do think that it isn't the most fluid thing that Oda has done in the past, like, let's say 20 chapters or so. I think, but we did need to move forward into this fight. We're running out of time. We need to be in this fight already. So I see him escalating things, and the kind of inexplicable Luffy recovery is one of the ways you can just speed things up, because we're not going to really ask too many questions, or we really don't want to at this point. I know I don't. So let's talk about the more important revelation here at the end before we go back and talk about obviously the other shit. What happened 800 years ago? 800 years ago being the Void Century. 800 years ago being the Void Century with Joy Boy. So we know that Nika was the original god in the first age. The second age is this Void Century era, or leads up to it and culminates in it. Then there is a gap, and then there's the third age, which is ending now. It's not beginning now, it's ending now. With the meeting, with this punch, with this punch. I do want to look at that last line, actually. So, one strike, one piece, one wish, one dream. One strike on Imu's ugly face. Okay, I'm just saying, bro. So, he's not that ugly. He's pretty handsome. He's pretty good looking. I'm not gonna lie. Dozan. Isn't that right, Dozan? Imu knows Ragnir. Knows Ragnir. Is directly knows him. So he made the giants bend the knee. Why are the giants like this? Why did they hide the fruit? How did they hide the fruit if they bend the knee? If he thought they bent the knee. Maybe the isolation of the giants to Elbaf was them bending the knee? That could make sense. Then, we do see I think we're finally going to get to understand the giant battle. Like the giant sword and Onigashima skull. I think that's Dozan. I really do. I think that is... that's the motherfucker that you use the sword, for sure. For sure. That is our boy. That is the original Needhog, or I guess the Needhog of Loki's time. And maybe them bending the knee was Maybe them. Oh. Maybe. Hear me out. Maybe them bending the knee was what made the ancient giant bloodline. Maybe giants were always a peaceful people, right? Alright, just hear me out. They didn't have the horns or nothing. And then they bent the knee, and like a majority of giants gets dummy reversing. And they stay like that. And they stay like that until they lose in, I guess, a war, or they're lost in a war, they die. Imu like just doesn't need them anymore or some shit. The corpse, would the corpse flip? Oh yeah, the corpse will flip. Okay, so this doesn't make any sense. We're gonna cut that out. I don't know. You know, I really do think though that there's something questionable here that happened in regards to the giant lineage and the ancient giants in this Imu moment. I think we're going to have to get an Imu flashback to the Void Century, and this is just kind of laying the bricks for that. This is laying the foundational bricks. So I'm really impressed and excited that we're finally at this point where Oda's laying the foundational bricks for a Void Century flashback, because that's what this is. Let's be real here. Let's be real, people. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this is, because Oda is laying down the foundation for a Void Century flashback. That's crazy. That's crazy that this is happening right now. Okay, we're gonna scroll up. So I think that we're on pace, and Brook has confirmed a lot of the realities that have sunken in, a lot of the fan theories that are now confirmed. Shuri's parentage was not Reuven, so Shuri is not Davy D. Shuri. Shuri is Shuri Manmeyer. And though she was raised by the D clan, we're presuming it's the D clan, she was not of the D. She had the special eyes. What are these special eyes? Though mine weren't awakened, perhaps she will awaken them. What? We know that it's Brook has noted that her battle was like she was able to see the future. So not just future sight hockey, but actually like she was able to see the future. That's very important. That is a power that Imu will want, the ability to see the future, not just future sight hockey, which I'm sure Imu has. He's very powerful. Oh, okay. Do we think that there's a third eye under the bangs? She's always had those bangs right there. I was thinking about that on last week's chapter and bring it up, but do we think that maybe she's a third eye clan? Or just the heterochromic, I guess, variant, or whatever she is. That's a question. It's a question to be asked. The hat, the Manmeyer hat. I want to actually pull up Shiryu, because now I'm really seeing that Shiryu is a Manmeyer child. Shiryu of the Mist, or Shiryu of the Rain. I always call him Shiryu of the Mist. I think he's a Manmeyer. I think it's pretty obvious that he's a Manmeyer. Can we be real though? This dude is the same, literally the same dude. He looks just like Manmeyer Grow. He looks just like Manmeyer Grow. It is an undeniable comparison here. We've seen very few people with this hat. I mean, he has ear flaps. He has ear flaps like Shiryu. But it's not the same. I could see Manmeyer Grow having fathered Shiryu and Shuri. And like, Shuri's older than Shiryu, but she stayed young because of Imu. I could see it. So we're talking about a truly rare trait that Imu desires. Their eyes that can see the future. He didn't awaken them himself, but he became a god's knight. So whatever he is, whatever gives him power is enough power. It gives him enough power that he became a god's knight. Now, I don't know. The god's knights could have been weak sauce back then, but they took out Reuven, and Reuven was quite a fighter. Then again, it took, okay, so let's think about this. It took an Itsumare possessed An Imu possessed Itsumade. Shuri, Domi Reversied, with the power to fight as well as Brook and see the future. And a God's Knight of unknown power to take down Reuven, who was alone in his king's room. How strong was Reuven? Like tremendously strong, like Zebek levels of strong. How did Zebek come to want to break into the king's room? It's all making sense now. You killed my brother. I'm here to say hi. I'm not gonna do it today, because I want you to live in fear. Like he did. That is a story that makes sense, and it's a story that puts chills up my spine. Could it be possible that Zebek was either Reuven or Brook's brother? Let's just put it out there. This is a Davy hotspot. Brook and Zebek. A Brook or a bark is a ship, a Zebek is a ship. Their Davy family names their kids after ships because they want their kids to sail the world and be free in the ways of their ancestors. Okay, that makes sense. That's making sense here. So Brook gets stabbed in the face, and the Davy King gets murked. Okay. And Zebek, who's grown up, I guess, in the hardships of wherever he grew up, with the same, Davy curses, Blackbeard and Brook, and everyone that we've seen, even Kid, Luffy, Ace, Sabo, all of our D-Clan members grow up in squalor, one way or another. Now, Zebek hears that the clan that he is from, that his home country has been devastated, that his brother has been potentially killed. And he goes crazy. He goes crazy on the world government. Okay. That makes sense to me. And I think the one thing that could confirm that is, when did Zebek breach the flower room? Years before the current storyline. The battle between Esperia and the world government took place roughly 62 years ago in the One Piece timeline. I understood that at least a year had passed since then, but I guess it is the same year. So this is happening 62 years ago. This is happening when Shuri is 15. 62 years ago. And Zebek breaches the flower room 56 years ago. Why was he invading 56 years ago? So we have narrowed a 6-year gap between the fall of Esperia and Roxy Zebek raiding the Reverie for apparently no reason, as far as we know. Capturing 5 kings for ransom, then breaking into Pangea Castle, letting Imu know what's good, and seeing Gunko there. Now there's been 2 flashbacks, and Gunko is in both of them, first of all. That should not be overlooked. He threatens to return to the room in the future. He says, I'll be back, bitch. Why did he have the event done in the first place, you feel me? And while fleeing, he kills a Marine Admiral. So this man was already very powerful. We've seen it, it's only taken Luffy 2 years to get strong enough to kill an Admiral. So it could be assumed that Zebek only started his voyage, recently. He just starts off very powerful, and he was a nobody back then. But I think he looks like he's been a pirate for a bit, for at least a couple of years. Those couple of years are right after the fall of Esperia. And I think that there's a correlation there. I think that the vendetta isn't just for Davy Jones. I think there might be a vendetta for Shuri, and for Brook, and for Reuven, and for Esperia. And it's all starting to make sense now. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, I hope you already hit that like button. Subscribe to Canon Events. We're doing all sorts of different content this year. This is going to be more of a variety channel than you could even imagine. We're not just sticking to One Piece reviews. Right now, we're doing live streams of a reroll of Unk's favorite game, Old School RuneScape, and we've been having a lot of fun there. Okay, definitely plan on playing One Piece Odyssey at some point this year too. So get ready for more Canon Events content. I hope you enjoyed today, and most importantly, I hope you take care of yourselves until next time. We gonna be out.